Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about, I'm not gonna eat a dry chicken finger. Postmates customer slams app for not giving him a full refund when drivers forget dipping sauces. Once again, drivers are being blamed for what is the restaurant's accident in general, and because of that, this customer is not getting a full refund. And because Postmates is now a fourth-party app to Uber Eats, we as drivers are getting the blame for this. So with that said, I want to go over everything that's being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash UberEats Grubhub, drivers and their corresponding customers, and fourth-party app customers being Postmates, Chow Now, and things to that effect. The restaurants on said apps, the companies themselves, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A Postmates customer believes missing condiments on a food delivery order is grounds for a full refund as a pain and suffering tax. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. There are some times where missing sauces really do change the entirety of the meal. Let's say you're ordering wings and you forget the ranch, there's no sauces, or they give you ketchup instead of ranch. That changes the entirety of the meal. Oh, but you could go to the store and get ranch. Anybody who's ever ordered at a restaurant for their ranch and tried to use home-style ranch at like the store knows that there is a vast difference. It is not exactly as simple as go to the store and pick it up. However, there has been a creator that revealed the secret recipe for restaurant-style ranch. Maybe I'll do videos like that to make the home recipe for them, but who knows? Maybe that'll be a thing in the future. But either way, in this case, that really hurts the customer because they're ending up with a completely different meal than what they intended because of the lack of dipping sauce. The driver's probably going to get a bad rating for this, and in some cases could even end up tip baited, if that's still a thing on Postmates. The restaurant could get a headache if the customer actually gets the refund. TikToker Jtfirstman at Jtfirstman posted a viral clip with over 181,000 views as of Sunday. In his video, Jordan has beef with the fact that Postmates refunded the dipping sauces he purchased with his chicken meal as they were an integral part of the dining experience. He claims this severely inhibited his enjoyment of the food he was about to dive into. The things you do for content, huh? I'm going to leave his TikTok as well as his profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. So they refunded the dipping sauces, but they didn't refund the whole meal. I gotta be honest with you. When it comes to restaurants charging for dipping sauces, I never understood that. Like, I understand that they could be expensive if you just keep handing them out for free, but charging for them on a delivery platform where they can't just go back up to the counter and ask for 100 more sauces, like what? Why even bother? Like, how much are you charging for these sauces on a regular basis? Probably nothing. Jordan pointed out that one of the dipping sauces, jalapeno aioli, isn't necessarily a common item someone would have in their home, which is why he ordered it. He contests that having to pay a premium for delivery while waiting for one's food, only to see that key items he specifically requested were missing, is grounds for a full refund as his meal was effectively ruined. Well, if you ordered the jalapeno aioli separately and you got ranch and all of that other stuff, right? That doesn't mean the entire meal is effectively ruined. That means you didn't get that one specialty item. I understand that it's not the meal you intended to have, but you could also make the opposite argument too. But let's say you didn't get any sauces. Yeah, because that completely changes everything. And if they're charging for the sauces, yeah, I definitely agree. They should have made sure all the items were there.
I think you should get paid for pain and suffering too, because my meal is ruined now. I ordered that with the sauces because that is how I want to eat my meal. I'm not going to eat a dry chicken finger, and I don't have that many condiments in my fridge. So, and I certainly don't have jalapeno aioli. That's why I ordered it from the place. So you should get paid for pain and suffering. You should get the whole meal free, in my opinion, if they forget the sauces.
I don't know about getting the whole meal free, my friend. Like, actually speaking, you should definitely get a refund for the sauces. If they didn't get any actual sauces with it, yeah, that does change the meal effectively. But not having that many condiments in the house, I would actually argue that's something that you should do, period. Like, I've been stocking up my fridge recently with some common condiments because, quite frankly, I just don't want to have to fight for certain things anymore. According to the refund facilitation company Chargeback, Postmates issues refunds to customers within 1 to 3 business days and has a largely customer-friendly refund policy which covers missing and/or incorrect items. Yeah, but here's the thing. A lot of these refund policies have also been highly abused too. Like, there are so many people that are trying to pull some sort of refund method on Doordash, UberEats, Grubhub, Postmates, ChowNow, etc. And then all of these companies end up losing money because they didn't want to do their job. And then the driver ends up getting a bad rating for it. The customer ends up upset. The restaurant ends up scot-free half the time, or even losing the entirety of the value of the order because of the mess up. Yeah, they do end up punishing the restaurant for missing items too, and sometimes even more so for certain orders, and it's a nightmare. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw record-setting usages of restaurant deliveries. 9 out of 10 surveyed at-home diners said they've had issues with their orders, according to Restaurant Dive. Another food industry outlet, Restaurant Business, wrote that food delivery mishaps are alarmingly common, citing a similar statistic. They added that because of persistent failings from food delivery apps and the surcharges issued to both the customer and the restaurant, businesses are exploring the option of deploying their own delivery systems. Listen, if Chick-fil-A can't even make that work, I don't know if all of these other companies are gonna make it work either. There's a sushi place that opened up right by me, right? They tried having their own food delivery customers too, and their own food delivery drivers. That worked for about 2 weeks, and then the whole thing went to crap. Drivers are starting to realize their value, and now they're going to make more being an independent contractor than working with you guys. Also, it's not the food delivery app's fault that the restaurant didn't include the sauces. We don't control what's in the order. You guys do. In the restaurants. Don't try to put the blame on food delivery apps. TikTok reviewers agreed with the inconvenience of having to deal with an order, with one person commenting, ordered sushi once and they didn't bring soy sauce and I didn't have any at home, and it was honestly one of the most miserable days in my life. Actually, soy sauce is one thing I would say you should definitely have at home. Whether it's you have a little bottle or you stock up on those little packets, that and duck sauce. You should definitely be saving those packets. If you get a bunch of those little jars and just keep them on the side, just fill them up with certain takeout sauces every now and then, you'll be fine. Just make sure you're not leaving some at the bottom for like 14 years or something like that, because that's just ridiculous. Someone else agreed with Jordan's sentiments about the importance of sauce for a meal, sharing, "The meal is a vessel for the sauce. For some places, it absolutely is. Polynesian sauce for Chick-fil-A. Any wing place for blue cheese and ranch on the side. Parmesan garlic sauce on the wings themselves, and buffalo wings with the buffalo sauce. But you can't blame the driver for not having the sauce. You gotta blame the restaurant for not giving the sauce." I complained about Wingstop leaving out the ranch. They refunded the entire meal, a user said. To be honest, the only acceptable result. Yes, some restaurants are good with that, but a lot of the food delivery apps, they are having a huge issue with customers abusing the systems. It's not necessarily the driver's fault. They're gonna do as much as they can. At the end of the day, it's the restaurant's responsibility to pack the order. And if they're not gonna pack the order, what are we supposed to do? This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I understand the sentiment of wanting a full refund if you order chicken fingers and don't get ranch or something to that effect, if that's what you really wanted. Like in this case, jalapeno aioli. But I think with the landscape of how food delivery apps are and how some customers have been really abusing the system, it is irresponsible for them to just continuously give full refunds, even if it's justifiable. I am sure in a lot of cases you absolutely could, but at the end of the day, if that restaurant keeps screwing up, you shouldn't be ordering at that restaurant anymore. Why would you continuously do the same thing and expect a different result if they're the ones that are going to screw it up at the end of the day? Now, could you also learn how to make certain dressings and certain aiolis for yourself? Sure, but that takes away from the entire purpose of having the order delivered. I understand the upset feeling of not getting the sauce you wanted, but that responsibility for the driver to make sure you got your sauces was taken away before the pandemic even started. So don't blame the app or the driver for what the restaurant did to you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!